Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and appreciate you guys checking out today's video and spending some time with me. And guys, a lot of you that have been with the channel for a long time, you may remember I used to have a segment called Mental Mondays, and this was once a week. I sort of took some time to talk about just stuff that goes on in life that didn't really have much to do with fishing. And it didn't get near as many views as all my fishing stuff, but it had a very, very loyal following. The people that watched it really liked it. And I discontinued that. It's been over a year ago, maybe a year and a half. And I get comments consistently about people wanting to bring Mental Monday back. And I thought about it, and in light of like all the chaos that we have going on in the world right now, I think there's a time and I think there's a place for that, as far as that sort of that discussion along the Mental Monday type lines. But I'm going to rename it, and I want to start it up again once a week, and I'm going to call it Real Talk in Real Life. And what I'm going to try to do in this particular segment, and I may even start a new YouTube channel just on this eventually, depending on how it goes. I just want to talk about things that challenge all of us in our lives here on this planet, because a lot of times, man, life's not easy. It is. Everybody's got a lot of things they deal with. They got a lot of challenges. They got a lot of anxieties and worry. And I just want to sort of share some stuff from some of my own personal experiences, things not only that I have learned, but I've learned from other people, and I've learned from sort of being a third party, observer in the human experience. So we're going to start today. I want to start this and do this once a week, and we'll sort of see how it goes and how everybody likes it. But anyway, today I want to start out talking about a topic that, if you watched many of my Mental Mondays, we touched upon this a lot, and that is basically that none of us are going to get out of this alive, and we all have to face the inevitable day that we're going to pass away sometime. I think this is a fundamental, primal topic that people have been interested in and concerned about or thought about for thousands and thousands of years. Because obviously when you get to become a conscious being, the inevitable part of it, or the natural part of it, is you begin to think about your own mortality. And this has been, like I said, it's been going on in all levels of society as long as we can remember. And that's one of the big reasons that, the formation of all the world's major religions. I mean, there's dozens and dozens and dozens of major world religions. I mean, the Native Americans, they had the Great Spirit, and different, indigenous tribes, they had their own perspective of, some type of a higher power or whatever. And we still have that today. Because people, they need that. They need to have something that they feel grounded to in terms of what comes after that. And the common thread, and always been the common thread amongst, belief systems and religions, is that everybody feels that their own belief system or the religion is correct and right, and everybody else is wrong. That's just the way it is. And I think that's a necessary byproduct of the fact that if you don't feel like that, if you don't feel like your worldview or your belief system is the one that is true, then your entire worldview is sort of at peril. I mean, you can't reside in comfort if you question your own belief system. And that's inevitably, that's one of the things that I think has caused a lot of anxiety in people, is that there are so many conflicting belief systems out there, and the common thread is they all think they're right and everybody else is wrong. So therefore, that doesn't really satisfy that point of it, as it should be. So anyway, let's talk a little bit about that. I want to dive into that and maybe sort of give you some peace with this. One of the things that I think is important to remember is that we place so much emphasis on the importance of our own lives, that we are sort of the center of our own universe. And in reality, guys, this is what's going to happen. The day that you pass away, it's all coming for every one of us. It's the great equalizer. It doesn't matter how big somebody's ego is right now, or how much power and influence they wield, or how great they think they are, or how famous they think they are. The day is going to come when they're going to be no longer. They're going to pass into the next experience, and that's the equalizing factor. Now, the thing about that is that once you pass away, Even though you may consider yourself the center of the universe at this point, what's going to happen is soon after that, people will mourn your passing, right? And then as time goes on, they'll think about you, but they'll think about you less and less. And then as more time goes on, people don't think about you hardly at all. And then after the course of 2 or 3 generations, you're completely forgot about. And think about it, guys. How many of you right now can tell me the name or the history or anything about your great great grandparents or your great 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 grandparents? They basically passed into oblivion. Nobody remembers them. Nobody knows who they are. They just passed away, and you know, they just become in sense and invisible. And it's going to happen to every one of us. It's the same thing is going to happen to all of us. It's like you're going eventually, after you pass, you're not going to have anybody that remembers you after a certain amount of generations. Don't look at this as this is the thing about that. That may sound as some type of a depressing point of view and thought, but it's not. Because what that does, it's like when you accept that and when you realize that your life here is not as important as you think it is. I don't care if you're the most powerful person on the world, your life is not as important as you think it is, because even then, those people are going to be irrelevant in the future. But the PowerPoint for that and the upside of that is the fact that encourages you to live the moment to the fullest in your current life. It's like, do not slop through life. This is the lesson behind that. It's like we have all been given, for whatever reason, this incredible opportunity to live this existence here on the planet Earth, which is if you look at it, there's such a divine mystery to this that it defies the human. It defies the ability for our rational mind to grasp the fact that we are here talking on this format that we're talking on. And it should give you a sense of comfort if you know that, and you know that your life is not that big of a deal in the big picture. Totally appreciate where you are right now. It's like when you get up in the morning, I don't care what you got going on in your life, just appreciate the fact that you're here and now and you're experiencing this realm of reality, and live it to the fullest. And how you do that is you don't spend time focusing on the past all the time. You don't spend time being anxious for what the future brings, because living in the past usually creates sadness, and living in the future usually creates anxiety. Stay here grounded, present in the moment. And this is one of the things that's going to really help you out in your life and make your life a lot richer and fuller. Because I can tell you let me give you an example in my own life, guys. I was one of those people, like everything else, that I really tried to live in the moment as much as I could. But a lot of times I would get caught up in the past or what I got coming up in the future. And it's like, I would think about, what I got going on tomorrow, what I got going on the next day. It wasn't until I had my son Elijah, he's 8 years old now, that having my son Elijah, it put me in a frame of mind where I really, really focused on every single moment. It's like, I don't care if it was feeding him a bottle or changing his diaper or watching him play or whatever like that. It's like I absorbed that moment fully, knowing that moment was fleeting and knowing it's never going to be here again. And it's just like, when I watched, Elijah started Mighty Mites football, last month. And I know that seeing his little body running around out there on the football field, that's not going to be there very long. He's going to be growing up before long, and that innocence of seeing him running around on that football field, like a little tiny dude out there, is a fleeting moment. And when I watch him in practice or something, I fully absorb that moment and appreciate that moment. And that's what you have to do. That's what you have to focus on. Don't focus on anything else besides that. So it's important to contemplate this stuff. And it's important to, gain that perspective, because I think that a lot of people, they live in fear of that. And they live in fear of what's next, or, what the future may bring, or what may happen after they die. But one of the things I want to leave you with, guys, is that there's no reason to be fearful of that. It's like, The fear of death is the most useless emotion that you will ever have because it's inevitable. And I can tell you one thing right now that should leave you with some type of semblance of peace within your day, is that the people that you love, the people that love you and the people that you love, the people that you share love with, those are the people that you will pass through and that you will basically continue that relationship from now on. It's not that maybe not in the same form, but it's the fact that that love endures, and that love for somebody that you love, somebody that loves you, keeps that continuation over and over again. And this can be, if you don't believe that, all you have to do is look at physics. Physics, one of the primary foundations of physics is that energy, which we are energetical bodies as humans. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, simply changes form. And that's what happens to us in the human experience. And that experience of the people that we love, people that we've shared love with, the people that we love to be around, we continue with those people into existence from now on. That's just the reality of the situation. That's one of the that's one of the common threads that binds all belief systems together. And when you have a mutual consensus that different belief systems can agree with, that is usually what is, where there's smoke there's fire type of a thing. That's usually becomes more of a reality when you have reproducible results and you have one thing that is shared amongst a group of people. How it looks like to get to that point may be different, but inevitably, there's got to be a reality to that. So just live in that peace that it's okay. It's a natural part of life. You can't avoid passing on, but it's okay. Everything's going to be okay afterwards. It's like once your time here on this planet is gone, everything's going to be okay afterward. Don't live in fear. Don't let other people make you live in fear. Don't let other people make you feel inferior or that you're a bad person, because you're not. You may not make the correct decisions all the time based upon your upbringing or your external circumstances, but inherently every single one of us is good. On the basic level, everybody has experiences in our life that maybe challenges that to some point, but on the core level, every single one of us is good. Every single one of us is nothing but love. Every single one of us is going to be okay from now on. So just sort of live in that peace if you can. And just don't take life too serious, guys. Don't think that, your life is the only thing that matters, and that, you should get stressed out on anything that happens during the day. Because like I said, it's not going to be too much longer. I don't care if you live to be 100 years old. That's going to pass very quickly. And then you're going to go on to your next adventure. And again, I really believe that the people, it's not that I believe that, it's like I know that. It's like there's a difference between forcing yourself to believe something and then knowing internally about something, whether it's true or not. And that's one thing that I do know is, like I said, we're going to be around each other, the people that you love or have shared love with from now on. So just hopefully you can rest in that peace and not just get so stressed out by our society today. Because like I said, guys, in 2025, for a lot of different reasons, we live in one of the most chaotic periods I have ever seen in history. And just don't get caught up in that. Just sort of look at the bigger picture. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you guys like the content. We'll talk later.